Hi, we are Termofilia Inc. The world is suffering from a sanitary emergency due to the COVID-19 virus. The efforts of the laboratory work around the world have resulted in the fabrication and distribution of vaccines that promise to give a solution to a problem. Colombia has not been unrelated to a problem. Consequently, the government has agreed on buying different types of vaccines to give front to a problematic, searching the herd immunity. The National Vaccine Plan has been designed to create a logistical chain to take the vaccines from the laboratories at ultra-low temperature, -20 Celsius, to 7 principal cities, where they will be stored temporarily while they are distributed in the municipalities. Given the high cost it takes to maintain the ultra-low temperature, the transport of the vials won't be at this temperature. It will be at a range of 2 to 8 Celsius degrees. We are Termofilia Inc., a company created to design and manufacture the transportation devices for COVID-19 vaccines. We have assumed the challenge of transportation to the vials to Quibdó, Chocó, from the central city of Medellin at a constant temperature of 2 to 8 Celsius. After a harsh investigation, Termofilia identified the needs of the movement of vaccines as the following chart describes. It is important to clarify that these necessities have been identified using the following assumptions. 1. It will be transporting the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. 2. It will travel by air. And 3. The device will be exposed to an average temperature and weather of Quibdó. The previous chosen necessities were used to partially define the restrictions and requirements the design must accomplish. With the first requirement as the beginning point, Termofilia designed 4 alternatives for the solution, from where it was selected the most convenient to develop in the incoming stages of the project. The steps for the evaluation and selection of the alternative are shown next. First, we investigated the existing solutions, as you can see. Next, we investigated different refrigerating systems, like conventional cycles, per chiller cooler, Einstein sealer refrigerator, conventional cooler packs. Termofilia team was divided into couples to hear and work on different design ideas. The first prototypes were quite simple, as you can see in the following sketches.
There was a first filter from the design concepts in which 4 of the 6 present were chosen. Subsequently, there was a more detailed progress in the design concepts. In order to expand the information from each concept, there was a provisional data sheet with the main characteristics of each one. And after that, there was a disclosure with each member of Termofilia Inc. In the latest steps of the progress, there was established a rating method in which an inner matrix grade each fulfillment of the requirements. Finally, the information from the previous rating was shared and exposed with arguments and relevant details of the solution concepts in order to depict a better rating with more information in the final decision matrix. From the last one, the most relevant conclusion was that the concept from the solution 1, which has the following characteristic, was the best one. Its container with an hexagonal geometry, its cooling method is through cooler packs. The minimum unit of the bundling of vaccines is a cage with 10 of them. It improved the attachment with other containers. As part of the selection process, there was 2 subsystems that made part of the whole container. With this label, Termofilia Inc. divided the company into 2 parts. The first one that will work on subsystem 1, geometry and structure, and the second one that will work on thermal isolation and temperature supervision. Termofilia Inc. along the Sprint 1 has compiled, classified, and assigned information that will allow the identification of the problem, transport of COVID-19 vaccines in Colombia, to be solved in a satisfactory and productive way due to the restrictions and the solution design concept for the next sprint. And for the last part, Termofilia Inc. made a list with the objectives for the next sprint. Polish the design requirements, specify and measure the materials, define the sealing part of the container, reduce production costs, and make a more elaborate prototype and simulate the variables. Thank you for your attention.